The thing in the closet. Jillian hated her new apartment from the moment she stepped into it. The hardwood floors were uneven. The pipes clanked when no one used the water. The paint peeled in long strips near the baseboards, like something was clawing its way out. But rent in the city was impossible, and after the breakup, she just needed somewhere, anywhere, to be alone. So she signed the lease. 3rd floor, Unit 3, B. No roommates, just her plants, her records, and the old shadows that crept out from the corners after sundown. The bedroom was the worst part. It had no windows, and the air always felt heavier than the rest of the place. The only feature in the room, besides the cracked ceiling fan, was a deep closet set into the far wall with a single door that never quite closed all the way. She'd push it shut at night, and every morning it would be cracked again, 2 inches open. Every time. At first, she chalked it up to old hinges. Maybe the air pressure shifted when she opened the front door. Harmless, right? But the problem was that she never heard it open. She'd lie in bed, watching the crack, waiting to hear it creak, but it never made a sound. It was just open. Every single morning. By the 2nd week, she started having dreams. They were strange, dark and sticky. She dreamt of something crouching inside the closet, something tall, though it folded itself unnaturally to fit the small space. Something with eyes like coal and skin that looked wet, like it had just crawled up from a well. She could never see its full face, only the mouth, always grinning. On the 7th night, she woke up drenched in sweat, not from a nightmare, but from a sound, scraping, coming from inside the closet. She froze. Her phone said 3:12 a.m. The scraping continued, slow, deliberate, like claws dragging across drywall. Jillian sat up. The door was cracked wider than usual, 4 inches now. She whispered, "Hello?" The sound stopped. Benny, her cat, hissed from somewhere under the bed and bolted from the room. She followed him, heart pounding, turning on every light in the apartment. She even opened the closet, just to prove to herself there was nothing there, just hangers, old boxes, a winter coat she hadn't worn in years. But as she closed the door again, she noticed something that made her blood run cold. One of the drywall panels inside the closet had deep scratches in it, long vertical gouges that hadn't been there before. 3 lines, like a hand with too many fingers. She didn't sleep the rest of the night. Jillian began leaving the closet door open during the day. She wanted to see if it moved on its own, but it didn't. Not once. The door sat wide open all afternoon and evening. It wasn't until she turned off the lights and climbed into bed that it would swing almost shut, clicking just softly enough to sound accidental. And the next morning, 2 inches open. She moved her bed to the living room, slept on the couch for a while, convinced it was her anxiety. But even then, she'd wake up in the middle of the night hearing that scraping sound muffled through the wall. Then the whispering started. Not in dreams, not in her head, real. At first, it was unintelligible, just a faint, garbled sound like a radio caught between frequencies. Then it grew clearer, more directed. You left the door open. I don't like the light. Come closer, Jillian. She stopped sleeping altogether. She called her landlord. He laughed it off. It's an old building, he said. They all make noise. You should have heard the stories from the last tenant. What stories? But he hung up. The final night began like the rest. Rain hammered the windows. The air felt thick, unmoving. Jillian took melatonin, turned off the lights, and promised herself she wouldn't get up, no matter what. At 3:17 a.m., she broke that promise. She woke with a sharp pressure in her bladder. Her body was trembling. She couldn't tell if it was fear or the cold, but she had to pee. She grabbed her phone, turned on the flashlight, and crept toward the bathroom. She didn't look at the closet. She didn't want to. Halfway across the room, she felt it. A presence. Like someone was standing just behind her, close enough to hear her heartbeat. She froze. The phone light flickered, once, twice, and went out. She was in the dark, and then... creak. The closet door swung fully open behind her, for the first time ever. No resistance, no sound from the hinges, and something stepped out. She couldn't see it, only feel it. The air shifted, grew colder. Her breath steamed in the air like winter. The lights in the bathroom flickered as she stumbled toward the door. Then a voice, louder than ever, right beside her ear. "I've waited long enough." Long fingers wrapped around her arm, wet, freezing. Too many joints, and pulled her back toward the closet. She screamed, kicked, clawed. The hallway light flipped on. For a moment, she saw its shape in the mirror. Tall, emaciated. Skin pulled too tight across its face, and no eyes. Just black holes, weeping something dark and thick. Its mouth stretched impossibly wide, full of teeth like shattered glass. Then, darkness. Jillian was never seen again. Her apartment was cleared a month later. Everything was left behind. The cat was found curled under the bed, starved but alive. In the closet, scratched into the wall with some sharp object, were the words, "Don't open it, don't open it, don't open it." Over, and over, and over again. But they did. The new tenant moved in the next day. They sleep with the door closed, too. And every morning, it's open, 2 inches wide. Just enough for something to watch.